So, hey, Z, I heard you're laid off. You were laid off, right?
The second time, yeah.
Second time. How was it? How is it right now?
Well, I was in shock for about a month, and then I bounced back. Snapped back.
How'd you bounce back? How'd you bounce back?
I slapped myself really hard across the face.
So what else are you doing if you're not working a 9 to 5? Remember in our previous podcast, you said you didn't want to work 9 to 5. Now you got laid off. You always wanted to get laid off. You have some videos where you were cussing out your previous manager and telling everyone that they suck. Now you're laid off. You don't have to see them every single day. You don't even have to wake up early, but I think you still do. How does it feel?
Well, it's bittersweet. Bittersweet because it didn't come from me, right? So it was them that ultimately made their decision. And what hurt is that it wasn't my decision to flick them off and be like, bye. So it was completely out of my hands. And that's probably why I was in shock. On the flip side, if I did quit on my own accord, then I'd probably be okay. But mind you, I wasn't ready or equipped at all to take the news. The good news is that while I was working there for a short amount of time with you, I had, it's not even a minimum, but like a handful of emergency savings that I could fall back on to. It wasn't an ideal amount, but I'm still here and still alive. So yeah, it's a bittersweet moment. But now I'm kind of, I snapped back out of it and I'm happy.
So do you miss our boss, your supervisor, or anyone in the office?
No.
So how was it when you first heard that you were laid off? Like that moment when you were called into that dude's room, our manager. He was like, hey, Z, you got a minute? And then you were like, sure. And then he closed the door. And then he showed you a screen with the person's face on it. Right?
Dude, you know what trips me out is that I got laid off in January and today's April. And we haven't talked about this since then. So it just occurred to me. But
we haven't recorded in a long time, so that's why we never got to discuss this.
I guess.
So we should, I don't know. Will our viewers be seeing this video first or the other videos first when you're bad-mouthing our manager? But it doesn't really matter anymore.
It doesn't matter. But
you know, you should post them all because it's kind of interesting how everything turned out. But, you know.
Well, so first, to answer your question, the first time I heard him say that, I already knew what it was. I had a huge smile on my face. I was really happy. When I saw the person with the laptop, I'm like, I know what it is. And so that kind of confirmed my hunch. The other thing that's super memorable about this whole ordeal is that my previous manager, or your current manager, he was visibly shaking during that whole discussion with me and HR. I don't know if he was nervous, he was mad, or he was scared. I think he was nervous and scared. I kind of felt bad for him at that time, you know, but I was really happy.
Yeah, you should have given him a pat on the shoulder and be like, it's all right. I already got used to this or something.
Yeah, at first I was really happy. And then like a couple weeks later, it kind of hit me where it's like, I got laid off twice. Is there something wrong with me? You know, that kind of thing. Yes. That like, am I worth it? Like, did I do something wrong? Like, so
there's something wrong with you.
And I went through that.
For the viewers out there, there's something wrong with Z. He does not like working a 9 to 5. I fully support the fact that he should not be working a 9 to 5.
And that, like, if you look on TikTok, there are many influencers and creators saying that introverted people should not work a 9 to 5 because we don't fit that mold, of being socializing, being sociable, talkative, that whole thing. So,
I mean, I think the other day you asked me, what do I feel or what do I think? I was like, dude, if you don't like a 9 to 5, don't continue working it. Like, I swear, every single day I saw you, you were so depressed. All you did was like sit in your little corner, hide yourself behind like 50 monitors, get your iPad out, and he's like, I hate this job. I don't want to be in the office. And then I was like, dude, you could quit. He was like, yeah, I could. I'm going to quit. But you don't quit.
Well, I had
and then
5
I was like,
monitors.
how many? Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, something like that. And then you had like FedEx labels, FedEx envelopes, like everything, just blocking everything.
Yeah.
So no one can see you. And I was like, dude, that's pretty cool. And then I was like, hey, dude, I was like, I know you don't like 9 to 5. I don't know what's like keeping you here. Probably like you needed the money or something. And I was like, for all our viewers, they're probably thinking, hey, dude, if the dude needs the money, why don't he just keep his job? I was like, the dude hated it so much, he didn't even care about the money at some point. He was like, I would rather work hard doing YouTube, doing my own business, working for my own self at my own time without having to deal with a manager. And I agree with that, even though I may not have taken that risk, but I do support Z, this dude.
Thank you.
For if he did quit, I would like, that's great. But,
yeah, but
obviously financially it may not be the best thing, but at the same time, if he never quits, he'd be stuck doing something he hates. And like, I swear to God, this guy's going to have to go to a mental hospital soon.
Mm-hmm. You've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? Like I told you to.
Yep.
And so he was saying that income is an addiction. It's how they get you hooked. It's how they get you into the rat race, into the system. I don't think I would have quit because I was like laying out the certain foundations, like, oh, I need this and I need this in place and I need this amount before I do this. I quit. I need to have a certain amount of savings before I ever do that. So I was kind of in this cycle of excuses that didn't need to happen or didn't need to have. I don't know if I would have quit because I was at work and I was working on our blog. Can you believe that? Like I was working on videos, editing, blogging, and I wasn't really working on the actual 9 to 5 work. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I get something for an urgent thing that needs to be done, that's when I do it. But with the economy and the market right now for houses, there's not a lot going on. So we just had a free time, and I'm sure you would agree, we had so much free time that I was able to do our work during the 9 to 5. And they were paying me to get our work done. See what I'm saying? So I didn't know if I was going to quit. That's the bad part. The good part is that they laid me off. So I had a severance pay to add on to the emergency savings. I don't know. It was a blessing in disguise kind of thing.
So for our viewers out there, Z wanted to quit and probably slap our manager.
That was the plan.
Secretly. But he did something better. He just sat in the room, and let some AI talk to him and say, you know what, you got laid off. Ooh. And he had COVID. So,
in December.
You're laid off.
Yeah, so
yeah, I know. So they were like, you got sick, and they're like, oh, sorry, dude, we'll lay you off too. Ooh, doesn't that feel right?
The crazy part is that POS piece of shiza wanted to lay me off in 2022, last year when I got sick. But since I got sick, he kind of postponed my being laid off. So again, blessing in disguise. It was weird because it was a nice place. I would definitely preferred to have my own room, because our officer doesn't use his office. He's not in the office, right? So I would get into his office, but that quote unquote manager didn't let me. So I kind of hid behind, like you said, FedEx labels. Like I had a fort. I had like 5 monitors, FedEx labels, blocking me essentially and my face.
Great employee here, okay? Great employee.
No, because one, it was sort of a barrier to stop COVID. Number 2, I didn't want them to see me and talk to me. Because whenever they pass by, like the copier machine is like right in front of me. So whenever they come by, they say hello every single time. So that's what I didn't want to happen. And also, I had that corner of the room super dark, like no light, and the blinds were closed. What'd you think of that?
Honestly, I didn't care, but apparently our manager and everyone else cared. It was like, why is this dude, this big dude, hiding in the corner in the dark with the blinds closed?
Well,
Not even with monitors.
Oh, no, because like the reason was like I don't like sunlight, and I was like directly in front of a window. But I would open the window when it started raining because I love rain. I hate sunlight. I love rainstorms.
And he hates people too.
Yep. That's how like you can tell that I'm like a full introvert. Because like I love rain. I love being isolated. I don't like talking to people. Just the whole shebang. Like my energy drops whenever you say hello to me. Like if you say a full sentence to me, if you start talking to me and you say one sentence to me, I would need a 2-hour nap. Because
I wonder how we should title our video. Should we be like, Z, laid off from a 9 to 5, don't talk to me anymore?
That's a good title.
Something like.
That's a good title.
Be like, don't talk to me ever, or else I'm going to have to sleep, hibernate.
No, it should be breaking news. Introvert gets into a coma after being told.
After 3 months of working.
That's
breaking news. Introvert falls into a coma after working for a couple of months and having to deal with like coworkers, people.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like there's a time and place for everything. I believe when you're at work, you don't really have time to socialize. I get the whole camaraderie thing and the whole company morale BS. There's a certain limit of where we should be talking, and then there's a certain time to start working. Like I believe like
So in other words, never talk to me, I'm working.
yeah, like 95% work and then 5% talking, because like I have so much crap to do. Before this job, we were at another company, you and me, and it was in the same field. At that place, we were busy nonstop. And so there's no room for chit chat, which I love. But there were people in the office that kept mouthing off. And I'm like, how do you find the time to talk to me or to other people when we have this much work to do, right? So I just like to keep my head down and just work. That's it.